Thank you for taking the time to click on L.O.R.E. Please subscribe here and don't forget to follow us on twitch.tv/LoreLivePlay.
The province of Talantis, a lush landscape almost untouched by civilization. A prime example of nature thriving, domineering the slow-growing settlements on its fringes.
It is here that something new has begun to take shape. Creatures not native, nor natural by evolutionary means have made themselves known to curious outward eyes.
Curiosity, however, should be shared with a side of caution. These creatures show much aggression, are exceedingly territorial, and have presented themselves as a problem for many. But maybe not for a few whose paths have yet to be determined.
Whether or not these individuals walk the paths that will be presented to them,
Events will unfold as they will.
No one is ever appropriately called to action
but these few,
Will have a hand
in uncovering
the guise of
of
these
these
new
new
untamed
untamed
beasts.
Greetings! Welcome to L.O.R.E and tonight's session of the Guise of Untamed Beasts. I am your Dungeon Master, Mathew Garro, and with me are my players for this adventure. Unfortunately, two of our players are unable to make it tonight. That would be Sarah and Kayla, but we still have our other three ready and available. So let's start with, I don't know where they are on your screen, and I don't know where they are on my screen, but we're going to start with Chris.
Ah, damn it. Shit. Okay. Hi, I'm Chris Ferguson. I am playing Trovik, the confused barbarian minotaur that thinks he is an orc, and also has magic spirit belly. Or something like that.
Spirit Belly.
Yes.
Next we have, we're going to go with Dylan.
Hi, I'm Dylan, or DG, whatever floats your boat. I play Azazel. He's a hobgoblin wizard. He's pretty cool. He's missing an eye.
It's good.
Water usually floats my boats,
Yeah,
especially in the bathtub.
the principle of buoyancy, typically.
True. And last we have Ryan.
Hello, I am Ryan Kaz, and I play Zorl, the Goliath Druid, who is perpetually disappointed with both of them.
Oh,
That is
Fair.
yeah.
mostly accurate. So, before we begin, I'd like to talk about Extra Life. It's a program for local Children's Miracle Network hospitals to help raise money through Twitch and the gaming community. We have linked up with Penn State's Children's Hospital with a goal of raising $500 in donations this year. How do we do that? Through natural ones. For every natural one rolled, you will hear this sound.
Mer. I didn't pull up the board.
Oh,
Sure. So, all right.
he's
So
just
Chris is
gonna
going to
do
be
it with
making
his mouth.
some sort of farm animal noise, or that somebody will make a sound effect. I'm sure.
Bruh.
Folks, we all
What?
speak for a living.
Yes. Yes. We do this for a living. Trying to. So you can donate $1 to match, and at the end of the session, we tally them all up. Anyone can donate the total ones we rolled, or more if you are feeling generous. Simply follow the link below in our About section and click the Donate button to help. All donations go directly to Penn State Children's Hospital. Next, let's talk about our informal sponsor, Foundry. Foundry is a virtual tabletop application built for experiencing multiplayer tabletop RPGs. The Game Master, or GM, or DM, you never know, uses a feature-rich and modern self-hosted application where their players connect directly through the web browser. Provides a powerful framework designed to be customizable and developer-friendly, utilizing powerful tools to help tell immersive stories and create memorable moments for the group. To date, it contains support for over 150 different game systems such as Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder, Warhammer, and Vampire the Masquerade, to name a few, and over 1,000 custom add-on modules, each one created using the ideal systems and add-ons provided to bring a unique gaming experience for each group, none like any other. The developers also have an interactive community on their Discord server where they answer your technical questions, provide release updates for system packages, and upcoming community content. Best of all, this can all be acquired with a one-time purchase, without subscriptions or feature gating. If this sounds like a product that can greatly enhance gameplay for you and your gaming table, then go check out their website at www.foundryvtt.com for all their details. And if you want to see Foundry in action, you can check it out here during tonight's session or on A New Horizon, hosted on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to join in on the lore, then you can link up with us on any of our social media platforms through Linktree. That's linktr.ee/loreliveplay. Lastly, Chris has some merchandise he would like to show us.
Oh yes, the part where this stuff disappears. Hello again, it is I. I'm just gonna hold it here. We have bumper stickers for your whatever. Oh, there it goes, disappears. And yeah, you can put it on your car or on your laptop or your computer, or put it on your dad's car and piss him off and stuff. And then you can, do the pins things too. We have pins, buttons, whatever you want to call them. And yeah, you can get both of them for $9, or you can spend $7 for the bumper sticker and $3 for the pin. And we will ship them directly to you. If you are in our Discord, you can just reach out to us directly and ask for them until we set up a store or something, because that will eventually happen someday. The end.
Never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Well, if we are done with all our advertising and whatnot, let's get into last week's summary before we begin. So we take place at the end of a combat, Orn pinning one of the assailants to the ground, shaking them while questioning whom their leader was. Refusing to allude to that information, they and their unconscious ally were manacled by Azazel to be interrogated in the morning. Whilst discussing how to deal with their captured assailants, they noticed the ones slain reverted into dogs, to which Zorro gathered the 3 bodies and took them out of the town to be buried. Meanwhile, quickened footfalls approached the group as Coutelier, a few hunters, Merlet, and a turtle by the name of New gathered around the scene. The situation was explained and the 2 surviving Jackowares were taken into custody. Merlet explained that she was alerted that the group was in trouble and gathered as many individuals that she could to assist. After returning from burying the dead dogs, New the Beastmaster introduced himself and stated that the escapees had fled the town. Once the commotion had cleared and the officials dispersed, the group decided to find the inn to bathe and rest, still feeling quite inebriated from dinner and somewhat a bit shocked that they got through that without, stumbling around. Following morning, after realizing Zilri had slipped away in the middle of the night, they agreed to get breakfast and interrogate the 2 Jackowares. Once arriving at the compound, Azazel led the interrogation with the now 2 humans, changed into humanoid forms, and learned quite a bit of useful information using the Detect Thoughts spell. Though they were not aware of these creatures they searched for, their leader was hired by someone else to capture wild animals, and they in turn used the hunters to do the job for them. As to whom this mysterious individual was that hired them initially, and the purpose behind capturing these animals, only their leader, L.O.R.E, may know back at their hideout. Yet, gathering what they needed, the group immediately headed eastward out of town into the Tierney open fields, where they traveled several hours. Zorro spoke to a panther that was sneaking up on the group, and in conversation warned him of a large reptilian creature that spout flame to the east. Sure enough, not long after venturing into this more rocky area of the Tierney open fields, this large reptilian giant, resembling the description that Azazel had previously noted several times before, emerged from atop the hillside and began to stare down at the group as they readied themselves for whatever came their way. So last we left off. Not sure what you guys can see on your end, but it should be an open hillside, rocky in nature. Large, to be a little bit more accurate with its description, orange scale-like, almost dinosaur-looking body, though crocodilian features. Armored carapace that covers its snout all the way down its backside, with series of different horns, spines, and whatnot protruding all around it, similar to that of like a rhino or an armadillo. Long tail, three fingers on each outstretched arm, and a very agitated look in its eyes. And it's just standing upon the top of the hillside at the current moment, staring down at you, almost waiting to see how you will react. But it does not look, from first glance, it does not look friendly.
It's a problem. Is this one we try to reason with, or are we just sort of like going?
I will, Is it go time?
Orin kind of looks up at it. I'm not going to screech because I don't have the I don't have the vocal capacity that Sarah does for that. But
How far is it from us right now?
I would say, I was thinking about this earlier. About 80 feet up the hillside.
80 feet. And it's noticed us and it's coming our way?
It's standing on the top of the hill.
Yeah.
It looks, you can see its tail slowly like going back and forth, swaying back and forth. Its beady eyes just staring down at the group, kind of almost as if it's assessing the group in itself, just like how you're assessing it. And you guys are kind of just matching each other up, so to speak. But it's waiting.
How long since we talked to the big cat out in the field?
Panther? At least about anywhere between half an hour to an hour ago.
Yeah. Okay. Where did you come from?
Where did you go?
Oh God. Never mind. You know what? I gotta go, folks. Bye bye.
When Zorl starts talking to this big thing, Azazel's just gonna start like slowly shifting his weight into like a fighting stance and reaching back to grab his short sword. Just kind of at a moment's notice, ready to move.
You hear the subtle growling in its throat. It's, even though its mouth is closed, it's kind of showing, it's baring its teeth ever so slightly, but you can hear it and it's loud. It's surprisingly loud for how much higher of a distance it is on this hillside.
Grab X.
It doesn't seem to respond to your comments, Zorl.
Zorl, did it say anything back to you?
No, it's Azazel. I want to know where these beasts come from. I think they are coming from the same place. Do you want to try to talk to it?
I really don't know how productive that effort would be.
I will try. I will still try. We might not want to kill this beast. We may find out more. But if it attacks, you be ready.
I'll say Trovik and Zorl, you can see what looks like as if almost steam is coming out just the seams of its mouth and like just small flickers of flame. but it's still not reacting. It's still sizing you up, so to speak, and it's almost as if it's ready to strike you if it needs to.
Hmm.
But
We
even
are-
like just from your general passive perception, you can see in its eyes, it's locked on all of you, and it's just looking super pissed off, essentially. It looks very aggressive, but not so aggressive that it wants to make the first move, let's say. But you don't know.
We mean you no harm. We are just passing through.
Not so sure talking is going to get us through this one, Zoro.
Should we back away? Because
Little
this thing
Flower,
looks-
you should get the hell out of here. You should go very far away behind the
Doxia's-
rocks or something.
Okay.
Doxia starts like slowly taking a couple of steps back.
Yes.
You
Just
can see
go.
the eyes just kind of like just shift for a moment to Doxia, who's slowly stepping away, but still kind of like facing it, and she's just looking a little freaked out a little bit. Looks back on the rest of you, and then immediately Doxia just turns and sprints and dives behind what looks like a series of rocks.
Yes. It's good.
And as she does, this creature kind of just opens its mouth, and a gout of flame just comes firing out in the general direction
Of her?
of you guys.
Oh.
No, of you guys. It just comes.
Yep, and we are all standing together.
Naturally.
It's surprisingly not as large of a flame as you think it is. So I'm gonna roll a d4. And we're gonna see who it hits, or who needs to make a roll. Sorry. I'll
Alright,
say
let's pull the map up for the folks.
Azazel's 1, Orn is 2, Trovic is 3, and Zorl is 4. That would be a 3, Trovic. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, dexterity saving throw.
Just
okay.
hucked a fire loogie at us.
It's actually it's maybe about half the size of most of you, considering majority of you are fairly tall.
Okay,
and built in stature.
So I have I have advantage against effects that you can see while not blinded, deafened, or incapacitated. Is this considered a effect? Since
Yeah,
it's
I'll say I'll
fire-
give you your I
Okay.
forget what it's called, the barbarian advantage to dex saving throws.
Spidey sense.
Danger sense, thank you.
Yeah.
Your spidey
I like
sense.
spider sense.
So that is 11, and that is worse. Hey, look, 7-Eleven. It is place where I go to buy
Who's
Slurpee.
hungry?
What's your total?
11.
Ooh,
11.
Can be a giant spider.
You're prepared. You're almost prepared. How do I put this? You are prepared for this, for it to do something. But the flame just kind of comes at you guys fairly quickly, and you all disperse. And Trovic, you kind of like brace yourself for a moment, realizing you can't run from this. And you just take a full ball of flame, just kind of on impact.
Yep.
Oh. You take 34 points of fire damage.
How much?
34. I rolled really well. And we will roll. I will say, if there's anything that you had specifically
Damn.
said that you wanted to do to set up as it
Oh,
approached.
yeah,
do
I
so?
would have raged, but I don't think that would have.
Wouldn't save you from
Unless-
fire
No.
damage.
No, I wouldn't
That's
save you
not-
from fire damage. But if you wanted to have raged, you can do so
Yeah.
beforehand.
Yeah, I would have. Yeah, because last session when I said I was going to rage when this thing was getting close enough. So that happened.
Initiative.
Oh yeah. I had to wait my turn to do the magic roll thingy.
That
Spirit
part just
belly.
getting up.
Woof. Well, I'm almost dead. Big barbarian. Not many hit points for some reason.
Oh, I did roll fairly high.
Yeah. Did everybody else make it out though? Okay.
It only hit you.
Oh.
It's only a single target attack.
All right, you big bastard.
Yeah, I don't think talking's gonna get us out of here.
And it just roars out.
Not now.
After engulfing Trovic in flame, it
You
takes a
think?
step over on the rocks and leaps up and tries to and just starts kind of like coming down the hill towards you guys.
I am now Trovic Kruger. Nope.
We'll get you a striped sweater and a fedora.
Yes, please.
So Zorol, you have a 20.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Mm-hmm.
So are we rolling initiative? Oops.
Yes. That's all good.
Oh,
Unfortunate.
my bad. Isn't that roll? There it is. Okay.
It took a moment. Roll 17 and who am I? Oh, I gotta roll for Orn. That is right. Apologies. I rolled a 12. She's got +2. That's 14.
Oof. Can't wait for the nat one noises. Big oof. Took one for the team. Yes, he did.
And we begin. So the top of the round, it is Zorol. Your start.
All right, just sort of like, ready for this, seeing this fire just fully.
It's taken maybe
get
about 2 steps forward,
Trovic.
standing on the rocks and kind of leaping over this small section of hill on this hillside, or this rocky outcropping, and it's going to land on the side of the hill and come rushing down towards all of you.
So what I'm going to do, I see Trovic just absolutely take this fire right in his big dumb face. Trovic, we will need you in this fight. Here, take this, and I'll reach out, touch him, cast Cure Wounds for a measly, I'm so sorry, 5 hit points. And I'll step in front and like however much my movement will be, just like up to here. I'll go ahead and move up here, and then the bark furred bear form emerges. Just like, very like defensive position, rear up. I just sort of like, you see Zorol just like rear up, and as he does, he gets, this, bark spreads all over his body, and just and like kind of, like come at me, bro, to the creature. And that'll be my turn, because that's all I can do.
All right. Good first move. Trovic, you are up. Orn is on deck.
Okay. The rage would have been kicked in, but let's roll for it.
All right, I apologize. I did not open up yours because I have Orn's open.
It's okay.
And we will roll. I will roll a d8 because I have one here. I rolled a 6.
All right. 6, you say?
Yes, sir.
All right. Here we go.
Wild Surge.
All right.
6. Until your rage ends, you are surrounded by multicolored protective lights. You gain a +1 bonus to AC. Handy. And while within 10 feet of you, your allies gain the same bonus.
You hear that, guys? I mean, you see that, guys?
They seem very kind lights.
Yes. Okay. I need the pencil. It's
And maybe that's the reason why it shot at you specifically, because before everything happened, you raged. These multicolored lights just lighted you up like a beacon, and it decided, no, this is go time, and just shot a fireball at you, essentially.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. And so does that count against my bonus action if we did it prior to?
No.
Okay, sweet. All right.
You have your full turn.
How far is he? Can we see him on the map?
You should be able to see him. Yes.
I can't see him. I can see the bear.
It might
Past the
be
bear.
in your light path based on how Foundry works, but when I click on you, I can see the creature. So
Okay.
Might have
Oh
to zoom
wow!
out.
Yeah,
it's
I had to
about
zoom out.
75 feet ahead.
Woof. Okay. I am going to tell everybody to stick close to me if possible. Stick close to me if possible, and start running.
Just that. Just yeah.
Boy, I'm not gonna get to attack, so I'm gonna bonus action dash.
Only
How's it
rogues
work?
can do that.
No, bonus
Well-
action. Oh boy. What can I do?
You could dash on your turn.
I will dash on my turn
There's an action.
as an action.
So you can do your 30 feet of movement and then dash and do another 30 feet.
Yep.
And if you're within 20 feet of this creature, or sorry, if you've moved at least 20 feet, which most likely you have, and you make contact, you could use your Goring Rush.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. Let's go. Here's
You would go
60,
about 60
feet.
You won't be able to reach it, but you get within 20 feet of it.
Okay. Why can't I move? Oh, right.
Yeah.
So this.
That's fast.
Yeah.
The rest of you just see Trollvik just yell out, and just after still being still somewhat covered in smoldering flames,
Oh,
but
shit.
as they slowly flicker out, he just rushes back. Rushes all by. Wow, I can't speak. He rushes past all of you. The flames just kind of disperse with the subtle rush of wind, and he has axe in hand, ready to go, meeting this creature more than halfway up the hill.
For fair warning to people at home and everybody in here, there is a super bad lightning and thunderstorm outside, and it just shook my house. So if I freeze, sorry.
Uh-oh.
Everything goes down, but
Or-
we'll do
Fingers
our best
crossed.
and hope for the best.
yeah.
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
Yeah,
So that is your action.
Yep.
Um,
And I don't think I can do anything else bonus action wise. So,
I don't believe you can.
but I do
after-
like the AC boost.
May come in handy.
Yeah. Let's hope
So-
so.
Does that end your turn?
I believe so. Yeah.
All right. It's Orn's turn, and then the creature goes, and then Azazel, you are at the bottom of the
Cool.
list, unfortunately. Orn kind of just starts running. She's not within range of it, so she's gonna also use her dash.
You know,
Yeah,
I thought I was
maybe
being
here.
real cool by like having my bear in between y'all, and y'all just run past me. It's like, oh no.
It's the two up close and personal
Yeah.
characters.
We're hungry.
It's everybody is up close and personal.
Yeah.
Good agree. And that's going to be the end of Orn's turn.
Reach out and touch
She
that guy.
chases up. She chases after Trovic. She does get the +1 bonus to AC, which her AC is now
Yeah.
16.
Nice.
However, it is now this large reptilian creature's turn.
Time to die, folks.
Hmm.
It meets Orn right up front, and it's gonna use one of its attacks to simply just try and almost like a headbutt with all these series of spines and horns. That is 24 to hit.
Oof.
So even with, unfortunately, the multicolored light that has encompassed Orn and given her a bit of a shimmering protective shield, the creature just full on as it rushes down the hill beside her and just headbutts. That is 13 points of piercing damage.
Let's do.
And then just moving ever so slightly past towards you, Trovik, it's going to use its next attack to make a bite attack against you.
Fuck you.
That is 23.
It just barely hits.
It barely hits.
Let's be honest.
Okay, 12 points of slashing damage. Or sorry, piercing damage as it bites into your body.
Okay. I fall down to one knee and am holding on with one hit point.
Did you reduce it to half because you're raging?
Was it? Wait, what was it?
You are
Piercing
raging.
damage.
It's-
Piercing. Oh, thank
sorry, it's
God.
piercing
You're-
damage.
you're
So
raging.
Give me back
What is-
my 6.
so
Yeah.
at
boy.
6.
So I got 7 hit points.
Oh, thank God.
Oh boy.
And as Orn kind of tries to snarl at this creature, it kind of with one of its hands just kind of does a back swipe into Orn and does its last claw attack against Orn. Where did my... Here it is, sorry. (24) to hit. Jesus Christ.
To who?
Orn.
to Orn.
Oh, wow.
Does 10 points of slashing damage to Orn.
Jeez.
Why don't you roll like this in a New Horizon?
It's one of those things where I always roll fairly well as a DM and I roll poorly as a player.
Ah.
But as soon as I
Boo.
say it, that always just goes out the window. So hopefully that helps with your group. That's its action. It's going to, as its bonus action, it gets to move its full movement, and it's going to move past you guys. So both Orn and Trovik get to make opportunity attacks, and it's going to go straight for the bear.
Ha! Ha!
So before I move
Not
it,
in vain.
so Trovik, you can make an opportunity attack, and I will also do that with Orn.
Yes, yes. Wait, hold on. Yes, okay. Let's do this. Baby, come on. Come on, 20. Where's my action?
Ooh.
Here we go. Oh, you bitch. That's
So
all right.
Orn hits.
15?
15 just hits.
You rolled a d12.
What? Why did it roll a D? Oh, give me a second. Okay, let's try that
Sure.
again. I don't know why I did that. Hey. So, still hits. But now we know 15 hits, guys.
15 just, well, I rolled a 15 with Orn, so
Oh,
15 just hits.
Okay. Alright.
So that's 8 points of slashing damage from Orn.
Okay.
What did I just say? 8. And Trovik, and I believe you get to add your rage modifier to the damage.
Yep. Which is... Hang on. So, 16... And 16 slashing damage, and because I have Slasher, his movement is reduced to 10 feet.
Ooh.
So a total of 16 points of damage. Sorry, let me write that down. Move by 10 feet. What's its movement? Okay. Okay, even with the reduction, so like between Orn kind of like punches it in the side of the hip, and you just kind of rake its side of its thighs with your axe, and you kind of just between the two of you fumble its footing a little bit as it slides a little bit down this hillside, but still is able to make it to Zorl. And now Zorl, this thing is just up in your face. And Azazel, it is your turn.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay. Azazel's immediately gonna go into his blade song. So he'll start dancing and the blade will start humming the magical glowing hum of magic.
Magical glowing.
And
The magic.
you know it,
Gosh.
man. And then I'll start running around the side here, and as I'm positioning around this guy, I will say to Trovik, I'll say, I can't do anything to heal you, so fight careful. And once I've reached this side of the creature, I will pluck my little the little blackened ball from my bracelet and roll it under its legs and cast a flaming sphere on this like right rear flank.
Right rear flank.
All right.
And does he have to make a save on that first turn? Let me
Oh,
check,
it's
'cause I don't
cool. It
remember.
flickers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it just says any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet, so he does not have to make a save right now.
Okay.
Magical humming glow of magic.
Yeah.
That's I wasn't sure if you had Pepper out, so I have Pepper on the field if you want to.
Yes.
Or-
And then Pepper will take his turn, and he will he'll fly over like yonder.
Okay.
I can't get him on the rock.
About here?
About there, and then he'll hold like a help action.
Let's put him there. All right. Top of the next round. So far, this creature has, after seeing Doxia just kind of bail in the sudden movement, spout this small ball of flame at Trovik, who took a serious hit and then immediately began to barrage Orn and Trovik with series of just melee attacks as it ran down the hill towards Zorl and Azazel. But Zorl, it is now your turn. Trovik, you are on deck.
Tell me about this flaming sphere. If I move past it, will I get damaged?
You have to end your turn 5 feet away from it.
Okay.
So passing it won't do anything for you.
Okay. So if I swing around, I'm still measuring. Damn it.
I do
If
that all the time.
I want to like swing around here. I don't know if I'm going to end my turn within 5 feet of it. It kind of looks like that. I don't want to do that, obviously. But I'll swing around here and get my fucking Zorl token out of here. I'm not Zorl anymore. I'm a bear. I'm going to swing around. So just like get in between me and in between the creature and like Trovik and Orn. Just go a little bit further. And just like I'm just gonna swipe and bite at it.
Go for it.
Yeah, so let's see. Roll 1 20 plus can I let's see if this'll happen, if this'll work. Ooh, yeah.
Nice.
24 to hit.
24 definitely hits.
Okay. And then I'll take my my claw attack too.
Hopefully get that natural 20. Still good.
And then a 22 to hit. So
Yep, so both attacks hit.
1d4. The
Oh.
bite does 6 damage. Yeah, I can't roll a d8 to save my life, but two.
It's alright. I can't get a D8 either.
4. Oh, it's sad. But 14 with my claws, so 20 damage altogether.
All right, you take a swipe, and you bite into the side of this thing. It kind of just screams out and growls at you as it now turns around, kind of like following your movement around it.
Mm-hmm.
Almost knocking Azazel over with its tail as it kind of just whips around.
But I'm real nimble.
Yeah.
Yep, but you're easily just with the blade.
Yeah. And that's kind of all I got. Because I can't do anything in this form as a bonus action. So I'm good.
All right, Trovik, it is your turn. Orn is on deck.
I'm ready to go, baby. Let's go. I'm going to run up to this guy's buttocks and start slashing with my axing. And use reckless.
Okay, so advantage on your attacks.
Yes. Hazazazazaza. Okay. No one burns Trovik down to crispy bits and gets away with it. Dragon monster thingy. Here we go. That's not good. Let's try with advantage, eh? Please. Oh, so 15 was my highest. Woo.
15 hits.
Reckless. Yay.
Ooh.
Alright, raging. So 15 points of damage.
Yeah.
Nice. 15 points of slashing damage as this thing is now engaged with Zorl. It's bear form, but you come rushing up and slashing it through its belly. Yes.
And bonus action, hammering horns, because it lets me do that.
Hammering horns?
Yeah, immediately after you hit a creature with a melee attack, as part of an
Mhm.
action, as the part of the attack action on your turn, you can use
You
a
gonna shove
bonus
it?
action. Yeah, target must be no more than size. Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to shove it.
Try.
Okay, I need to make a strength saving throw.
Yes. But I'm gonna, like, somehow try to, like...
That would be a 14 that just makes your DC.
Yeah, son of a bitch.
So even though you slash, you kind of on your as you bring your great axe down, you kind of you kind of lower your shoulder, duck your head, and using your legs to kind of pivot the force in your skull, and hit this thing right in its gut where you slashed at it. But its hands kind of just as it feels you, it takes you in, grabs you, and kind of holds itself in position, and kind of almost just pushes you off.
Oh no. I'm mad.
And just kind of like you
End
can
of
hear it
turn.
growling in its throat again.
Oh yeah, and 10 feet. Oh, nobody's close enough. Oh wait. Here. I want to do this because I would have had enough room. I want to get close enough to Barrel. I want to get close enough to Barrel and give him the +1 AC to his bear form.
All
It was
right.
made of wood.
Shiny lights.
As a note, you would have taken fire damage at the end of your turn because you were so close to the flaming sphere.
All of the lights.
Yeah.
Orn is up, then the creature's
Hey,
turn.
yo, I'm within 10 feet. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you
10
get an
feet
AC
ain't that-
bonus. Orn.
Yes.
Love it.
Oh, do I take the fire damage? How much do?
No.
How much? Okay.
No,
It's
no,
sort
no.
of-
No fire damage to you.
Okay.
Orn kind of rushes in, and she's going to make a grapple attack. Can I get one of you to roll a d20 for me, and I will roll for the creature?
One of us to roll a d20, I'll do it. Just a flat roll 20? Oh, somebody
Yep.
else did it.
Nice, brown bear.
Sorry, what was the number? 17?
17 on the die.
17 plus her athletics is 6. Brain, 23. And this thing will roll. Ooh, 19. Orn kind of just rushes down the hill even faster this time and full on does a leap, grabs onto the side of this thing's stomach and kind of like almost using her teeth and her claws and almost climbs up on the side of her of its shoulder and kind of grips around its throat with half of her body and the other side with her the other half of her body, kind of like pinning its arm in a weird way, but also gouging her nails in its throat and kind of like just gnawing on this tough exterior of its body.
She's
This
like
creature,
Blue in Jurassic Park.
Oh, you're right.
this creature is now grappled.
Yeah.
It has no movement, but neither does Orn. That was her action. Her bonus action, she's going to use her Hungry Jaws.
You're my boy, Blue.
So she's going to get 4 temporary hit points.
Hungry Jaws.
And to make a
I
bite
see
attack.
you biting the lizard in the fighting. Now I'm.
Somebody want to roll a
Hungry
d20 for
Jaws.
Orn's bite attack for me.
Oh yeah, I'm. Are you doing it?
You wanna? I'll do it.
You
yeah.
on it? Okay, yeah. You. Good
I
roll.
was-
Good
yeah.
roll. Good roll.
Celebrity
Ah.
Just
roll.
rolling pretty good.
13 plus 6, 19. 19 definitely hits. Roll a d6.
Hmm. 4.
4. Nice. 4 plus 4 is 8 points of piercing damage. As Orn kind of just takes a nice chunk right in between the carapace armor around its neck and where its neck and like the veining in its neck is, and just kind of just you can see a little bit of this, almost like this deep blue but almost shimmering crimson kind of just start to bleed out of its neck, and just howls out in pain and just kind of like tries to grab onto Orn with its kind of pinned arm while trying to keep Zoral at bay with its other. That ends Orn's turn. It is now the creature's turn. He cannot move. Oh, I almost forgot. Unfortunately, Orn is within 5 feet of the flaming sphere.
Ooh, deck
Ooh.
save.
Son
Dex
of a
save
bitch.
Somebody roll a d20 for me.
All right, I'll do it.
You do it.
Here we go. I can't see what that is. Maybe I shouldn't have done that.
That is a 10 total. What's your DC?
13, so that's a
13.
fail.
So unfortunately, how much damage does Orn take?
Orn will take
Sorry, Orn.
6 fire damage.
That's not too bad. So she loses
Yeah.
the 10. She loses the
Thanks,
4 temporary,
bad
but
roll.
only takes 2
Wait.
points of fire damage.
What did you have her AC at?
It's a
That's a
dex
saving throw.
saving throw. But
Yeah.
her AC is still 16.
Right, because she's next to me. Okay. Come close. Be safe with the Trovik.
Come, my baby. Come, my baby. You're my butterfly.
Hey,
Sugar,
baby. Yeah, I saw those guys live like way too long ago.
Yo.
It's going to okay, because Orn is on this creature's like upper shoulder and biting into the neck. It's going to use one of its claw. It's going to use its claw attack at Orn. It's going to make a bite attack against Zoral and a horn attack against Trovik.
Try.
Ooh.
So we'll
Okay.
do Orn first. That is an 8. So unfortunately, it's just in a position where it can't quite get at Orn.
Yes.
Can't scratch that itch.
Can't
Yeah.
scratch that itch.
Get it out.
Then it's going to make its bite attack against Zoral.
Oh,
It kind
boy.
of struggling to deal with Orn, and kind of like its other hand, it just turns its head and goes for a nasty bite.
Sure.
That is a 14 to hit.
Does not hit.
Does not hit. You're able to kind of like push it off with your bare paws and just kind of hold its jaw in place as it's like you see this long lashing tongue and these huge massive pincer teeth just kind of like mashing at you, and then it retracts its face and then just full on does like a horn attack headbutt against Trovik. However, it is at advantage because you had
Yeah.
reckless.
Ones and ones. Come on, double ones, baby. Snake eyes.
Roll the ones for that extra.
One
life.
is 23,
Jesus.
and the other one is 23.
Yeah, I think that might hit.
Yeah.
I think it might. I think it might.
I think, yeah. Uh-oh.
You take 13 points of piercing damage as like all these series of horns just kind of just embed into your body. Reduced to half, which would be 6 points of piercing damage.
Okay, that's one.
Oh,
So what's the other one?
That's it.
it's advantage.
oh, that's-
It's not double attack.
Oh, I thought he did it for whatever
No,
reason.
no.
Okay. Okay.
It's trying to deal with too many of you at once, and it's
Stressful.
usually on series.
1 hit point, baby.
So it does end its turn within 5 feet of your flaming sphere, so that is a dex save, correct?
Yeah.
That is a 14.
Hold me close,
Ah,
kitty. I am
So
dying.
that's a success. So it'll take half of this.
Half is still good.
Half of 9. So 4.
4.
4 points of fire
4
damage.
Fire
As kind of like
damage.
on the other leg, the flame being so close is just starting to like the flames just slowly licking the sides of its scaly body and just kind of leaving little like smoke and black spots on its leg as it's trying to move its body away. It's starting to look pretty hurt. But
That's
it ends
good.
its turn, and it's Azazel's turn.
Okay. We're gonna do some sneaky here. Azazel's ducking and weaving, and he lunges forward with his short sword before doing a quick pivot step and reaching his hand out. And I will cast Shocking Grasp at this thing. And as I do that, Pepper's gonna do a quick little fly over here and use that help action to give me some advantage. So Shocking Grasp at advantage. There it is. Okay.
Holy
Does a
shit.
16 hit?
16 hits.
Did you know you can right click over the modifiers and it gives you the option to go advantage disadvantage?
Let's go. So that's 8 lightning damage,
What?
and it can't take reactions until the start of its next turn. So I'll shock it, and then I'll look to Trovik and say, "You can get some space after this next attack, all right?" And then bonus action, I'm just gonna move the flaming sphere just back to this little hind quarter and ram it into his keister, and he'll have to make another dex save.
Another dex save.
Right up the
That
bum bum.
is an 11.
That is a fail. So
Unfortunately, with Orn keeping it in place and you electrifying it to the point where it's kind of like, even though it's a bit of a jolt for it, it wasn't expecting the flame to come and hit it right in its backside.
8 points of fire damage.
Yep.
That's 8 and 8, baby. That's my turn.
Hey,
All right. One
That's
thing I forgot to
great.
do, somebody roll a d4 for me.
not me.
Part of Orn's feature is when she has a creature grappled, they take bludgeoning damage each turn.
Oh, that's so right.
That's so cool.
3.
3, so an additional 3 points of bludgeoning damage it takes as Orn is kind of like just digging her claws in and just slowly tearing at this thing.
Get him, Blue.
Top of the
And
round.
then Pepper
Oh,
will
yep.
also take hold another help action.
Nice.
Okay.
He's
Top of the
a
round.
missile
At this point,
sergeant.
it seems as though you all have this creature locked in place. Though it is a heavy hitter, unquestionably, it can't seem to go anywhere with the constant berating of this miniature fireball, Orn keeping it in place, and you just kind of like bashing into it. But Zoral, it's the top of your turn.
All right. So it's not going anywhere, and you said it's looking hurt. Is it like really rough or what?
Fairly rough. It's definitely past the half threshold.
but it's not looking as rough as Trovik
Yes,
is.
kill it for Trovik!
There are a few slash marks on its scaly body, and you can see some of like the burns and the bite marks. It doesn't look as bad as it seems, but you can tell by its body it's slowing a little bit, especially considering it was just electrified for a quick second.
He's still alive.
Yeah.
All right. Fighting claws.
Right, Boss, go for it.
Okay. 1, 2, 5. Fight natural 1.
There's
First
one,
natural
folks.
one of the night.
First natty one for extra life.
That's
folks.
$1.
That's $1.
$1.
You go for a what was this? Your claw attack?
Bite.
A bite. It kind of does the same thing and just holds your jaw and face in place.
All right.
Face in
2
place.
kaijus. Kaiju fight.
How'd you fight?
He holds your face place.
All right. So claws. There we go. Please. 14.
14 unfortunately does not hit.
Oh,
It's just
boy.
you're just out of reach as you go to swipe. This thing is just keeping
Wait.
like the hole keeping you.
Don't you have inspiration, Zorl?
You do
Oh,
have
I do?
inspiration.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna use
You
my
all have
inspiration. Let's roll.
Eddie Murphy gif.
It's worse.
Hey.
A 13. That's
I
unfortunate.
used it.
That's
Wow,
the
Someone
risk.
give me some inspiration. I need it. Nope. Just can't do anything right now.
That's okay. All right. Did that end your turn?
Yeah, I'm just trying to. I guess like we're doing it. We're duking it out. I'm trying to keep its attention on me. So that's gonna be it for me. I'm
Okay.
not in danger.
Rovik, you're up. Orn is on deck.
All right.
So this thing cannot take reactions as a note. If you want to step away, it will not be able to swipe at you. It's still kind of in a bit of a daze from the shocking grasp.
Reeling from my taser.
I am going to. Do I get 2 attacks yet? No.
No.
No, not yet.
Next level.
No.
Okay.
Next level.
I'm going to. Fuck it. I'm going to hit it with the axe.
You're going to do what?
I'm not going to.
This is a family-friendly show,
It's not a family
Christopher.
show. God damn it. I am going to go this way. Scoot by bear that can't hit shit for now. And hit with axe.
All right, make your attack. Is this a reckless attack?
No.
Okay.
I'm not taking risk. Here we go. There we go. 21.
21 hits. Roll for damage.
Whew. Okay.
Yeah.
14 plus 2 for the raging. That's 16 points of slashing damage.
Slashing damage. You kind of interpose between this creature and Zorl, kind of like breaking its subtle grasp on Zorl's face, and just kind of take a swipe at its other side this time. It growls and screeches out in pain. It's actually looking fairly bloodied and cut up now at this point.
There. Now, you know
You can
how it feels. Why do I sound like that now?
I don't know.
Bonus
feels?
Bonus section recover accent.
That takes a long rest, actually.
Yeah, it's true. All right. Yeah, stay put. Bonus action.
All right, that ends your turn.
You're staying put?
Yeah. Well, I can't disengage or anything, or he'll hit me.
But it can't
He
take
does not
reactions.
have a reaction.
Oh, then I am going to.
Good set.
Whoop! Oh shit! I just moved the whole goddamn overlay. I'm going to
Control Z! Control Z!
There. Hide
Oh, that's
behind
right.
bear.
Canadian. He says Zed.
Control Z. Here we go.
Ah.
Hide behind bear.
The English language, the most complicated language on this bloody planet.
Yeah, right. Seriously.
Love it.
Yeah. Take a knee behind the bear.
All right,
Like,
Orn's turn. So I misread that. It's on Orn's turn, it takes the additional D4 damage. So I did it last turn when it wasn't supposed to, so it does it now. But it's fine.
Same deal.
So this creature is still grappled. Orn is going to... Let's see, what does more? It actually doesn't really make a difference. It's going to try and go for a claw attack in its throat. She kind of lets go for a moment and tries to punch it in the throat. Somebody roll a d20 for me.
who's calling it?
I think Dylan should do it.
How do I roll just a regular die? I don't think I've ever done that in this.
Bottom left corner on your D20 or in D Beyond.
Oh, and yeah, I guess I could just do that. I was looking in
Yeah.
Foundry.
Oh, you can do it on
it's
the
the
Foundry
same thing.
too.
So in the chat
Roll.
bubble, at the very bottom there on the little left,
That's
you
an
can roll.
8.
An
Ugh.
8.
God.
8 plus 6 is 14. Unfortunately, it does not hit. She punches it in the throat, but it's like... It's just its scaly body in that one spot was just enough to resist the blow. Bonus action. I'm going to get her to use her second wind. D10
Yeah.
plus 4. That's... I rolled terribly. So she gets 6 points of HP back. Which is still pretty good.
Yeah.
And that's going to end Orn's turn. It's now the creature's turn.
Is Orn
And
gonna
this-
move away at all?
Orn is grappled to the creature. So
Oh,
her
right,
movement is
yes.
also 0 as well.
Right. She's hanging out. She's going for a ride.
Mhm. Eat me. Do you know the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
Yes, the Muffin Man. He's a
Yes.
monster. That's my new Trovic voice.
Well, she's married to the Muffin Man.
Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man!
She's married to the Muffin Man.
Don't tell
Roll.
him anything.
This is the quality content that you all
Get to
tune in
watch.
for.
me!
I think it'd be fun if we just got on stream and just reenacted Shrek.
Oh boy. I mean, we could do a table read.
Hey.
Well, that's a conversation for later.
Yeah.
But
Hello.
for the present situation, this creature is dealing with Orn attached to its neck. Trovic has gone away. Azazel is kind of like slowly poking it in its side with his sword and his magic.
All right. We're actually playing a D&D game right now.
Oh.
Yes. It's going
Lives
to...
on Drury Lane.
Azazel, I'm going to need you to make a dex saving throw as you see these gouts of flame begin to come from the seams of its mouth, and realizing out of the three of you, even though it can't reach Orn, and Trovic is out of sight behind Zorl, you're the next one that's being a pest right now and just shoots a flame at you.
Oof.
That
Oh, God.
is-
Good luck.
17.
17 is a success, so you take half damage.
Ooh.
Still 30 points of damage.
That's 33 points of fire damage reduced to half. That's 16 points of fire damage.
Oof.
That's still all
As it just
its
kind of
hit
like
points.
reaches around its neck, even
It's
though
fine.
Orn is
Half
like
of that was my
stri-
temp.
Hey,
Man.
temp HP can come in handy when you least expect it. And just kind of like you dodge out, use the blade and kind of your quick dancing movement, but you still get licked up the side of your body. You see these flames rise, and now you know how it feels.
So for this
No
con
one
save,
knows
I go the
how it
full
feels.
16, right? And not the one that just took my regular HP.
Sorry, repeat that.
When I make this con save for concentration,
Mm-hmm.
the DC would be, well, I guess regardless it would be 10. So never mind. It's all good.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Should be. Let's see. Why did it give me +0? Oh, I selected the flaming sphere. That's why.
I'm not sure.
Hold
why
on.
you're doing that.
Whoopsies.
Con save. So it's
It's
no.
way worse.
Wait. So it's 7, but then I get to add my intelligence modifier. So it's exactly 10. Flaming sphere stays.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
You just got that with the skin of your teeth. However, it does end its turn, so it needs to make another dex saving throw,
Yeah.
which is an 18.
Oh.
That is a success.
So
I have to
you
scroll all the way
deal.
back up here to roll the damage. Okay.
Boo this Charizard. Boo him.
Oh, 5. So he takes 2 fire damage.
2 fire damage. The flaming sphere kind of is licking up its side as it engulfs you in a bit of flame. It takes a little bit of fire damage. Looks back and sees the flaming sphere. Azazel, it is now your turn.
Okay. As much as I love hitting things with my sword, I kind of just want to go for raw damage, and I got some spell slots to burn. So I'm just gonna, point blank 3 magic missiles into this thing.
Okay.
Use your magic sleeve, Azazel. In got trick up sleeve.
If you yell this out, like the bear Zoro will look back at you, just like, "Ooh."
Oh, hello, big guy. I'm trying not to die right now.
3. So that is a total of 12 points of force damage. And then bonus action, I'll just ram the flaming sphere into it again.
12 points of force damage, and it needs to make another dex saving throw, which is a 10.
That is a failure. So let's roll that damage.
Roll that damage.
5 points of fire damage.
Fire.
The flaming sphere kind of almost does like an arc on its spot as it spins and comes back and hits it in the side of the leg, kind of like almost knocking it down as these 3 energy missiles just kind of like pepper the side of its back. Like, this
And the
thing is
magic
just-
missiles do in fact look like pepper, so they sure do pepper him.
Pepper the owl just kind of peppers this creature. And you can see at this point, like, a good chunk of its right hand leg is starting to burn away some of the scales, and a little bit of the flesh is being exposed. And the whole shoulder side now is kind of like with these magical burn marks. And this thing is kind of dropping to one knee, trying to reassess the situation. You see there's that aggression in his eyes that just won't seem to go away, but there's also that hint of panic. Top of the round, Zoral, it is your turn.
So, kind of see that there is like this like fight or flight moment happening with this creature. So what I want to do is try to like knock it to the ground and sort of like pin it on the ground.
You want to do almost like another grapple check? Like another grapple attack, or do you want to actually just shove this thing?
That's a good question. I think that if you'll let me, I'll like do a claw attack, to try and just like, and if it's but do like a non-lethal damage kind of deal.
Okay, so you're just essentially trying to knock it down to the ground to keep it, let's say, prone.
Yeah.
Okay. Make an attack roll with your claw.
Okay. Ooh, yeah, 20.
So this thing, it's already kind of going down on one knee, and it's taking a lot of hit. It's kind of like just scouring the group itself, and you just come when it's not looking, smack it across the face, and and then bring it down, and it kind of falls to its other knee, and it's now holding itself up as if it's on its hands and knees. It is considered prone,
Okay.
and it is also grappled still by Orn.
Okay. So I've already done an attack action, so I can either take my next attack or just I'll bite it. I just like
I mean,
Yeah.
bite
I'll
it. Bite it for the team.
so I'm gonna go ahead and bite. It's prone, so that's Fianchurk. Correct? Yes. Prone. Advantage.
Attack roll against the creature has advantage if the attacker is within 5 feet of the creature. Yep.
Yep, that'd be me. Okay. 23.
23 definitely hits.
So, oh, my claws didn't do any damage, but I wasn't trying to like.
Yes, you said you were just trying to bring it down.
Right. Okay. Oh, nice. The bite though does 10 damage.
As you bring it down, you kind of bite into the shoulder area where all the magical marks, the magical scars and burning is, and it kind of like it screams out in pain. And at this point, it's barely hanging on. You can tell just from that last one, it's just barely hanging on.
All right, so my bonus action is going to be to come out of the bear form.
Okay.
And I come out of the bear form, and I just like I know that talking to it hasn't really yielded great results, but I'm just going to say yield.
Make a persuasion check for me.
Okay. So this guy's yuck. Here it is. Persuasion, sure. That's definitely a thing that I am good at.
Sure. Super high charismatic Zoral.
Oh yeah. 8.
8.
There it is.
Okay. There's a moment by your forceful demeanor, you reverting back into your humanoid shape, taking a step towards it, and in a very commanding and authoritative position, tell it to stop. And you see this resonance in its eyes. It's almost like an actual understanding. May not understand what you're saying, but it's understand what you're doing. And for a moment, it kind of just almost tries to relax, even though it's heavily wounded. But it's breathing heavily at the same time. That ends your turn. Trovik, it is your turn. This creature at this point looks well worn, fairly defeated, hanging by a thread, and it's almost heeding to what Zoral says. But there is still this anger in its eyes, but it's kind of conflicted.
I look at Zoral now that he's still close enough to me. I'm down on one knee. I'm literally crawling on the ground. And I'm just on all fours. I crawl up to it. And
It's on all fours as well.
yeah. and look at Zoro. What do you want to do?
If it lashes out, we will
I-
put it down.
If it lashes out, Trovik dead.
It is beaten. It knows this.
I will say for the moment, we will step outside of combat, unless an aggressive action takes place again, and we will resume. But for
In
the
that
moment
case,
being,
I'll move my flaming sphere just like 5-10 feet away from
I
it.
just roll it
Still
away.
within ramming distance, just in case.
Fair enough. Orin is still kind of clutching this thing, and now she kind of like crawls on top. Well, as best she can. The armored backside is still very spiny, thorny, series of horns all along its back. So she's still clutching to a part of it, but she kind of has a bit of a better hold now, as this thing's pretty much on its belly, kind of like hands and knees, just staring up at the rest of you, almost like waiting to see what will happen.
If it
You are beaten.
budges,
Yes.
Trovik will kill it.
Going to keep sort of talking to it, just like looming over it. Like I imagine that I'm still sort of like leaning on it with like one or two hands as it came out of my bare form, and it's just like, and just kind of try to make this connection. It's just like, you are beaten. We do not wish to kill you if we don't have to. Where did you come from?
There's like this almost softer growl coming from the from its throat, and it looks at you a little bit more passively, as it does seem to hear you, possibly understand you, but does not respond in any way. And Orin kind of calls out,
Don't kill it! We make living friends! Maybe?
Trovik not know what to do, and I just fall back and like fall asleep,
okay.
Azazel,
pass out.
This is the creature that you had originally described. Can you tell any sort of arcane magical essence about it?
Let me do a quick look around, and I'll examine it as closely as I can. Do I notice any strange arcane stuff about it?
Make an Arcana check for me.
Ooh, 11.
11. As you kind of like walk around this creature slowly, like inspecting different parts of its body, it does get a little bit twitchy as it sees you. It's a little bit more. It's still cautious of all of you, and it's trying its best to keep an eye on you as you kind of go behind it and then come back around within its actual purview. But you like looking over the segments of its body, it does look fairly like a very humanoid, almost something akin to the lizard folk themselves, just twice the size. Lizard crocodile features, orange tinge to its body. The armored carapace, it kind of fits well with its body, though it just seems out of place. There's no magical effects, any kind of smell or hint or sense of magic that permeates off it. There is something off in general that you get this vibe, but you're not quite sure what it is from just looking at it, let's say, or inspecting it.
If magic was involved in this thing's inception, then the traces of it have all but disappeared. If I had 11 minutes, I could maybe be a bit more precise in that answer, but I don't know if we can hold it for 11 minutes.
Rovik's out cold.
Truthfully, I've never been quite good with animals. Zoro, you think there's any chance you could get it to speak with you at all, or is that kind of a lost cause?
I will. It is worth a shot. We'll go ahead and, just do a quick cast of speak with animals and see. I mean, I don't know if it's an animal.
You cast a spell. It gets a little. It kind of like reels back for a moment, and Orin kind of just holds it in place.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
Can you,
And you
speak?
You speak to the creature using the spell, and the spell almost naturally auto-translate to whatever language whatever creature speaks. The creature understands you. You have this sense that it understands what you're saying, but it doesn't speak back. No, almost as if it doesn't have a language to speak. But it seems to understand your commands, your questions. Sia comes rushing from behind the rocks, kind of still keeping a bit of a wide berth, but rushes over to Trovik. Trovik, are you okay? Oh, he's only sleeping. Okay. Oh man, you look pretty banged up.
Yes.
Oh man.
I'm dead, no?
No, you're not dead. You're not dead.
Is this what it feels like to die on the battlefield?
Let's hope not, because you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine, right, guys? He's gonna be fine.
Azazel's scratching his beard and not really paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
And Zoro is locked in with this creature.
When Zoro was speaking common to it, did it look like it understood him then?
It took a while. It took a while for it to kind of gauge that it was Zoro was speaking out to it maybe, like, if I recall, 2 or 3 times, and it wasn't until he transformed back into his humanoid shape from the bear and gave like this more commanding presence that it almost somewhat understood what he was trying to get at. And now, speaking in whatever tongue Zoro is speaking in, it is attentive to him. And it looks like it knows what he's saying, but there's no response being given.
Will you... You only have to shake your head, yes or no. Do you want to live?
It does take a moment, but its eyes kind of quizzically nod yes.
Was your life pain before we came here?
It doesn't respond. It doesn't make no head motion. It just kind of narrows its eyes a little bit, as if maybe it did not understand the question.
Fair.
Would you show us where your home is, where you came from?
It gives another quizzical look, looks at the rest of you and just kind of nods no. But you see in its eyes there is a bit of uncertainty. But it says no. Make an insight check for me.
Sure.
And I'll say, Azazel, make a general intelligence check for me. Or, yeah, general intelligence check for me.
Super bad at these.
Wow.
Hey, me too.
Oh.
Natural 1.
I did it.
That's 2 of
Did
them.
it. Oh, jeez.
Children's
Well.
Medical Network hospitals.
You're trying to understand this creature's... It can't speak. It seems to kind of get what you're alluding to, though it's not sure. The communication is broken there somehow, and you're not quite sure how to follow up. Azazel, you're just pondering over how you can try and assess this creature's situation, and just nothing comes to mind right now. This is new. You finally found this rumored creature that's been causing all these problems, and you're kind of baffled. You're not sure how to approach it, what to do next. And before we continue on, we'll take a quick break while we all kind of mull this over a little bit.
Oh man.
Time to think.
Maybe take a 5-minute breather and rethink a different avenue.
Boy. Trovik.
Yeah.
Trovik wants to kill it. Alright, we'll be back, folks. Stick around 5, maybe 10 minutes at the max. Don't go anywhere. There's plenty more where this came from.
Don't touch that dial.
Be right back.
Hey, what happened to the stream? Where's the D&D?
Stay tuned, adventurers. We'll be right back.
Oh, I get it. Pee break.
And we're back. Hey, thank you so much for sticking around, folks. Don't forget we roll for extra life, so you can always donate by clicking in the bounce section down below, or hop right in chat, and it is the first thing right there at the bottom, right below where I said on our way back now. Okay.
Recapping, currently, the group has found this mysterious large reptilian creature that Azazel had described from the very beginning of this adventure that he was on the hunt for. And they have it now weakened, in a weakened state, currently being held in place by Orn, though Orn is using a lot of her strength in order to do so. It is quite a large creature. And Zoril is making various attempts at trying to speak to it, trying to understand it, while Azazel is mulling over different avenues to understand what it is. And Doxia is kind of sitting over on the ground by Trovik, trying to kind of dab some of his wounds and patch him up here a little bit there, trying to keep him awake.
Yeah, I'm kind of like in and out.
But the situation right now is at a stalemate. This creature seems to be willing to work with the group, so to speak. Though the communication barrier obviously is a big issue. So, what are you guys
Azazel,
thinking?
do you have any arcane means of reaching its mind before I let this creature go?
Well, it doesn't really look like I can speak a language, so unfortunately I won't be able to hear its thoughts, but... Oh... I could try something. It's a bit of a long shot, and you'll see the flaming sphere kind of just burn itself out as I drop concentration on it, and I pull out a little packet that I open, and I pull out like a dried snake's tongue coated in like a sweet oil, and Azazel just kind of pops it in his mouth, like kind of like a cigarette almost. And he just starts kind of like sucking on it, mulling it over, and he starts tracing some arcane sigils in the air. And he locks eyes with the lizard, and he'll just say, I suggest you listen carefully to my friend. Why aren't I doing his voice? I suggest you listen carefully to my friend. I suggest you I suggest you show us where it is you come from. And I'll cast suggestion on it.
Okay. So I need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yes.
That is a natural 20 for 21.
Ooh, yeah, that's a
Hate to-
success.
I hate to see it.
Not appropriate.
Oh.
The spell takes place, but for a fraction of a moment. And you get this glimpse, I will say, of almost like it saw you drop the fire, the flaming ball, and then saw you doing this motion and very heavily resisted it, thinking you were going to do something to it. And it kind of struggles for a moment. And Orin but slowly keeps it in place, still in a very weakened state. But after about a few seconds of it kind of struggling with Orin a little bit, and notices that none of you are taking any action, it kind of almost takes this big exasperated breath and then slowly calms down.
Azazel is very disappointed in them. That was about the only option I had. And then he'll keep sucking on the strange tongue and sweet oil thing, but more out of frustration than contemplation anymore, and just I don't really know what else we could do if this thing just can't understand us.
Maybe we should just let it go.
Yes. We should
And
let
then-
it go.
You can't understand us, right?
Are
Maybe if
you
we-
absolutely sure that we should let it go?
Yes. I am. It is. While we are not familiar with this type of creature, it's simply a new creature in the world. And the environment will react and adapt to it as it does all of us. It didn't ask to be made if it was made by some unnatural means. It's simply trying to survive.
I want to look at the look at Little Flower
Mm-hmm.
and say, is this what you were trying to teach Trovik about?
Well, not all battles need to end in death. Some are for glory, some are for competition. Yes, well, it looks like you were trying to kill each other, but at least what I see, there's understanding.
You teach.
You bested it. Maybe it understands that it can't beat you and will leave you alone.
I don't think besting it is going to protect the people in this area from it. I don't think it's going to suddenly restore whatever natural balance was upset when it was introduced. I don't know.
Maybe if you let it go, you wait and follow it?
I am going to do something, Little Flower, that is probably going to blow your mind. And I hold
What's that?
I use my axe to get up to both feet.
Mm-hmm.
And I hold it. And then I put my hand on its head. And I'm guessing its head's probably about almost as big as me. I don't know. It's pretty big, right?
It's a fairly large creature. I mean, in terms of the images don't justify the scale between the two.
Sure.
It would be more so its head is slightly bigger than your hand.
It's okay, so it has horns, right?
Yeah, it's got horns that
Okay.
kind of like it's got one large horn that comes out of the top of its snout,
Mm-hmm.
and then another two that kind of sit just above its eyes, but then at the back of its skull area and all the way down, it's just a series of spines and horns that kind of protrude out of this armor-like carapace.
Okay, I am going to use one axe or hand with the axe to push up, and then grab its horn to balance myself, and then like put my head against it and like butt my horns up against its horns, and I'm just going to say out loud like, "You best fight Trovik ever have. Good on you." And pat it and like try to start pushing it up, and I say, "Let it go. We let it go now." And I start pushing it up, like trying to push it to go up. Like, go. Before
There's a
Trovik
moment-
change mind.
There's a moment where it narrows its eyes at you, almost like in a scowl, as if you were going to do something to it. But when you kind of bow your head against it and almost like lift up its head, trying to assist it, there's a bit of like surprise in its eyes for a moment, and that aggression, it's still in its face, it's still in its eyes, though it recedes more so. And it does so try to bring itself back up. Orn is still grappling, and Orn's like,
On, let it go.
she jumps off. She lets go, jumps off. Because one thing I rolled to see if she remembered something. She says,
Magic! Like crab. You did magic, like crab.
and it says that to you, Azazel. Kind of referring to when you guys fought the giant crab-like creature. And this creature in the time is like slowly trying to bring itself back up, as I'm assuming Trophic is slightly helping it.
Yeah.
So it kind of comes to its feet. It looks a little, not a little dazed, but it's definitely having a hard time holding itself up a little. So, doing its best.
I'm gonna say, just, you fought well. Now go. Before Trovik changed mind. And I
Said
look
all
back
of you.
to Daxia. This is good, yes?
Yes, I think it's a good thing. Nobody had to die. And it looks at all of you. And just slowly starts to walk away. A bit of a limp and a slow step, but it still slowly starts to walk along the hillside. Foot after foot, pounding by pounding, and then eventually it starts to leave your gaze, your range, until eventually kind of wanders a little bit more southward along this hillside. But
When it's like halfway out of our sight, I'm gonna communicate with Pepper and just say, you follow behind him a little bit. I'll come after you.
Understood. Pepper kind of like flutters for a moment up to a higher range, waits a few minutes and kind of just hovers, and then eventually starts to fly off, following the creature.
And Azazel will pull out his spell book from his overcoat and start tracing and ritual casting Detect Magic. And while getting set up for that, before he actually starts his incantations, I don't know if that was a smart idea, but it certainly was what we did. And Orn, I think, struck a really good idea. I'm going to take my 11 minutes here and then hopefully catch up with it as quickly as I can. And I'm going to detect its magic and see if it has the same sort of magical signature as those crabs did.
Wait a minute. So, out of character, I have this thing called Magic Awareness that I can cast, of all things.
Yes.
As I hear this suggestion, can I cast it?
Is it
Before,
let me
I mean,
pull it up.
it's 60 feet range.
I mean, the creature is now out of range. Considering this was like brought up after it left sight. But you can. Where is it? Magic Awareness. Yeah, for anything within 60 feet of you. For one action, or for one turn. So if you were to get, well, I mean, it's up to you. You can do it here and see if you sense anything here, or you can run after the creature and do it there and see if you sense anything on it.
I'll limp run after it to see if I can get within like a 50-foot range of it without threatening it.
Okay. You kind of, it takes you a little bit, Doc. He's like, wait, Trovik, where are you going?
They just look. You want adventure? Come, help Trovik run.
Okay, and she kind of like
Help him.
See Trovik run.
Yes.
See Trovik run. Run, Trovik, run. So the three of you see Trovik and Doxia kind of like limping away and chasing after this creature that is now kind of a bit of a distance away, with Pepper slowly in tow. It's making its way along this rocky outcropping into more of the grassland area, and you get within maybe about 100 feet or so, and it's fairly aware at this point of your presence. One second, because I ended up closing this. It knows, it kind of stops for a moment, looks back at you in a beat up state from a distance, and it's just gauging you.
I will hold axe up real high, okay, and drop it in front of me and tell Doxia to stay at the axe. And I'll just I don't know. Something in tummy tell Trovik to do crazy.
Okay. Okay. Don't fight it.
No.
You're pretty beat up, and it's pretty beat up, and I'm pretty sure at this point you don't want to. Careful.
Yes. Trovik will be okay.
All right. So you kind of limp your way over within, I'll say, 60 feet. It's watching you curiously, but it doesn't do anything. You don't notice any flames or heat around the seams of its mouth. It's just kind of there, breathing heavily, its chest rising and falling, its stomach rising and falling. It's still bleeding that dark blue down its, like, the various wounds around its body with the glimmering bit of crimson in it.
Once I get within range, I'm not gonna try my luck by getting any closer. I'll just drop down to one knee out of sheer exhaustion.
Okay.
And I
You will use your magic awareness?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's pretty much like detect magic.
You don't have to take 10 minutes for that?
But only lasts a single turn.
Yeah, so it'll be like
Whereas yours
seconds.
lasts like 10 minutes, if I remember.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of drop to one knee. Almost like in this bowing sense. And the creature's not quite sure what you're alluding to. It just kind of stares at you quizzically. But you feel this magical essence kind of like fill your body and permeate out. Almost like this invisible aura. And you close your eyes and you sense. And it reaches this creature. And you can almost, you open your eyes for a moment and blink, and you see like this glow that kind of permeates off this monster, this creature. It's a muddled, like greenish aura that gives off and kind of permeates there. And you're not quite you don't quite understand magic per se, or the schools of magic, but you almost have this immediate understanding that there are traces of necromancy, specifically the clone spell. What that means to you is you're not quite sure, but that's what you almost have, like this. It's almost like it just kind of feeds into your brain, like the information was just put in your brain. It's like, I have this information, I don't know what it means.
Yeah. Okay.
I will say you kind of pick up a few minor things here and there. It's what's the word I'm looking for? It's a mishmash of DNAs of species that kind of were used to put this thing together, to create this thing. And kind of like, there's like crocodile, there's lizard, there's rhino, there's armadillo, there's porcupine, there's almost little bits of like dragon. It's almost, I can't think of the word for it, but it's just a mess of all these different types of creatures that have kind of been blended together to create this thing. And for that moment, you kind of get all this information, and then it goes away. You see the aura kind of diminish.
Is it still staring at me as I look up?
Thank you. Amalgamation.
Amalgamation. Thanks. Yeah, is it still in its place, or is it gone?
It's still standing there. It just thinks you're...
Okay.
You don't know what it thinks. It's just staring at you as you're like bowing, almost like you're bowing to it. In an odd sense, it kind of just nods and then turns to continue walking. And it's path.
I will say, we be good to each other, be awesome, and beat hate with fire, and wave to Doxia to come help me up and sheath my axe, however I can sheath that.
She kind of helps you get back to your feet, brings you back to your axe. You pick it up, put it on your back in your sling, and okay, let's maybe we need to sit for a little bit and actually rest up for some time. Let's go back to the others and decide what to do there.
Is good.
And it's not good.
Yes. It's...
So you see Trovic and Doxia kind of emerge along the hillside, slowly limping and coming back to the group.
Oh, and I finished my casting. I'm ready to go detect some magic. Wait, where did they go? Why are they coming back? Did they leave? What's going on?
Trovic use magics in Spirit Belly
I don't know what he did. He just ran after it. It stopped. He dropped to his knee, and then they looked at each other for a while, and it left. I don't know.
Trovik, what did your spirit belly do this time?
I don't know. Tommy kept telling me to go after it, but not to kill it. And Trovik see some green glowy, like maybe it have magic spirit belly, but like not like so tired, not like magic crazy light stuff that do on Trovik when angry, but is weird green glowy things never seen
like
before.
a kind of really gross sort of green that just makes you feel like death.
He did not make Trovik feel hungry, that is for sure. But
Death makes you hungry?
sometimes, yes. Matter of fact, now would be a good time.
Make me hungry.
It's yes. It's good time to eat, but also the glowy thing did not look like happy lights, like on holiday tree or something. This looked dark.
This is interesting. Someone who understands a topic trying to get information out of someone who doesn't understand a topic about said topic.
Yeah. Good.
I don't want to meta game this too hard, but I am curious. When I use false life on myself, which is a necromancy spell,
Yes.
does it exude any sort of aura, any sort of visible thing? Because flavor-wise, I haven't really said it has, and I don't want to just say it does now for narrative convenience.
I mean, that is completely up to you, how you wish to evoke your spells, if they evoke at all. I usually like to make it so that, at least I like to try and describe it as if there is some essence that occurs to make it as if something happened, is present. Though as little or as large as it may be is completely up to you. So if you want to say something along the lines of, I would say if you want to associate certain colors with certain schools of magic, I would say that's something that you as a wizard would know.
Yeah, because I mean, I at least would imagine casting false life. I just have a faint like glow for a second, just to show that it worked. Okay, I'm gonna cast false life on myself, and have that green glow of necrotic energy.
Okay, I'm going to sit down, or go to sit down. I guess when you cast this, I'm going to fall on my ass, because it looked very familiar to Trovik, and that glow.
Okay. Azazel's taking out his notebook and he flips back to the section on the crabs. If you when you saw that and you saw the magic, could you maybe put like a word to the type of spell? Like, did it seem like a cloning spell of some kind?
It felt like something making more of something else.
Okay.
But Trovik no understand. Still trying to grasp Spirit Belly. And what you did there, little red man, is same. Glow, green, spooky.
And you said there was like a lot of it, like it was a really big sort of aura, or was it
It's him
kind of faint?
Him glow all around.
Okay. When we fought those crabs, I did the same sort of detect magic on it. And those crabs had the same sort of aura, and I was able to piece together that it was a clone spell. And if that's the case with this one, that is concerning. The clone spell is a very, very high level magic, but you're saying that this one thing was like a mixture of a bunch of other things?
Trovik not know. It's just green and dark magic is glow. Maybe
How far away is it?
I look back very far. Mm-hmm.
Doxy, how long did it take you to get back here?
Well, it took a few minutes because we were going slow, but if you want to go after the creature, it was also going fairly slow.
I enter the blade song again because it gives me 10 extra movement, and then I just start dashing. Just gracefully dancing my way across the fields.
This thing's gonna be like, you now? Why can't you just let me
I
leave?
want to lay my eyes on it.
All right. While all of this is happening, like people running in and out of the woods, me and Orin are just playing Go Fish.
Orin is just like having a heyday because she's just like she's thinking that like she's gonna get all this fish. Is there anything that you want to say or interject or do other than go fish?
I will sit down with Zoro and
Take a break.
And yes, Little Flower. I need rest.
I'll say for the purposes of this, how long does the detect magic spell last?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. I'll say with that speed, you catch up to it. It's quite a bit of ways away. It is still fairly weakened from what you see. It kind of like stops every little bit here and there, and since it picks up that you're nearby, and it kind of sees you coming by, and it doesn't look happy that you're in the area, but it doesn't seem to make any sort of engagement yet. Is the range still 60 feet?
It's 30 feet.
Okay. So you have I would say you have like but a few minutes left on this spell. Okay. How do you want to try and get close enough to this thing so that it doesn't piss it off?
How do you want to pursue this?
Yeah, how do you want to pursue this?
Well, definitely when I get within like 60 feet, I'd stop sprinting. I feel like that's a good look. To not be sprinting at it.
That's a good look.
And, you know, I'm not going to have a weapon on me. I'll basically just have, like, my notebook. And I'll just be, like, looking and jotting down as I start to approach it. Not from like the flank. I'll say like from the side, like perpendicular to it, so it doesn't look like I'm trying to come in its blind spot or anything.
Okay.
And just look as friendly as possible.
Make a persuasion check for me.
I'm so friendly.
This thing's gonna kind of gauge.
$11.
it looks at you. It's not too happy to see you. And it looks like it's kind of like taking a weird, like almost like a defensive stance. But it's still kind of heaving for the moment. It is still waiting for you to make the first move. So you're inching closer, you're closer, you got your book in hand. It doesn't know what you're gonna do, but it knows that you can do stuff just by like waving your hands and whatever. So it's like it thinks you're gonna attack it, at least for this moment. It's taking a defensive stance.
I'll say in kind of a hushed voice, not quite a whisper. I was gonna cast message, but that seems like a bad idea. I'll just like crouch down and say in a hushed voice, like, "I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just here to take a quick look, and then I'll be on my way. I'm just gonna give a look, and run away. Not gonna hurt you."
You get close enough, within at least 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost just like it's shifting its position a little bit, eyeing you, almost getting a little bit lower, as if maybe it wants to pounce, maybe it wants to run. But as soon as you just get within the range, you get all that same information that Trovik received. You get you immediately notice, within that last little hint of the spell, you notice this darkish, this dark green aura that kind of permeates off it. You get the traces of necromancy in the clone spell. And you get the same elements of like this mishmash, this amalgamation of all these different types of creatures that have kind of been used to put it together, that you find within its body. And then it kind of growls at you a little bit.
Okay, yeah. It was good seeing you. I'll be on my way now. I really wish I saved that slot to do a nice little teleport, but I'll just slowly back away for about 15 feet.
And it just as before you're about to bolt, it's like, ah! It kind of just growls out, but like a little bit of a weaker growl, and you just run.
I'm no monster hunter.
All of you hear like this distant growl, roar. Should we go after him? You just see after a moment,
as I'm running away, I'll just like beam up to Pepper, be like, "Okay, we're going back to the group."
That's good. Coming back. Pepper kind of like flies. You reconvene with the group. Pepper lands on your shoulder.
Oh,
you got awfully close to that thing. It would have been a very nasty bite.
knowledge is worth the risk of death, and we learned a lot of fucking knowledge. Okay.
I do hope so.
He's holding his notebook and just kind of like doing a lot of these random words and phrases and scribbles and very rudimentary arcane symbols, trying to piece some stuff together. Okay. Do we want to do this here, or do we want to get back in town? I have so many thoughts and so many questions. This is big. This is big.
So you had a nice jog.
It was very productive.
That's good. Why would we go back to town? We are close to our goal.
All right. Okay. So he lays out his notebook. He's just so excited to talk about this. Okay.
Did your magic tummy, like Trophics, do the same thing?
It was more like my magic eye. I don't really feel a lot of tummy sensations for the most part. It's more like my extremities and my eyes or ears, depending on what I'm using.
Okay. I guess it's different for everybody.
Yeah, there's different kinds of magic. We can talk about that later, but this is okay. So Yes, traces of the clone spell, just like those giant crabs. The thing about the clone spell, at least the kind that's a bit more accessible to most people, is it is a clone of a creature that already exists. And essentially the way that works is it's kind of like a lifeless shell. Once the first thing dies, then the second thing gets the soul of the first thing and it comes to life. I don't know if you guys... I've never heard of a giant crab, and that thing's made up of a lot of different things.
Ugh.
I think someone has unraveled and rewound the formula for the clone spell and made something a lot more powerful, which means that whoever made these, or whatever made these, is a really powerful mage, and that's concerning in a lot of ways, but a little exciting. What I think, and he starts like pointing out these strange necrotic, like arcane sigils that he's been drawing that nowhere near as complex as like anything close to the clone spell, but it's like all theoretical at this point, so it makes no sense to anyone, but he's having fun pointing it all out. What it could be that they stacked several clone spells on top of each other and made it in such a way that they were able to clone all of them together into one single entity. But then the question obviously follows, of course, is what happens when all those creatures die? Does that thing have multiple souls? Is it a piecewise soul? Does it have no soul? What? This is theoretical magic that I just cannot even imagine. And this is very exciting, but terrifying, because if someone is making those things, I'm more scared of the person making them than I am of that. And we saw how badly that thing is. So, this is information I need to get to someone. Probably just to my superiors, but I feel like there's some very powerful mages that need to know a little bit about this.
It sounds like hell, boy.
It's hard.
I'm sorry, what was
It
that?
sounds like whomever is creating these creatures is the one throwing things out of balance, not necessarily the creatures themselves. Perhaps to correct the balance, we should pursue them. But what you're saying, perhaps this person is beyond our capabilities to deal with.
I don't think there's a perhaps about it. I definitely think they're beyond our capabilities. At least right now. Definitely beyond mine. They're a far better wizard than I am, that's for damn sure.
And what would we do about it?
Well, first thing we have to do is we have to look for them and find traces of them, and then, I mean, finding them is the hard part. Killing them could be troublesome, but, you know, if one strong person to this caliber exists, it could follow that there's a second. Could follow that second might just want to off that one. It could be a group of people could match might with this one. There's a lot of unknowns. We've just cracked the surface of this thing, and it's a big step forward, but a lot like these arcane scribblings here, it's rudimentary at best. There's a lot more we need to know before we can actively pursue this person or this entity. But I agree that they're throwing off the delicate balance of nature. Problem with wizards is we're all really egotistical and we're all kind of assholes. And if you become a powerful enough asshole, you kind of think you can just rewrite the laws of nature. And with this stacking of clone spells, that's definitely against some laws of nature, I'm sure. But it's kind of what higher level magic is all about. So good on them, I guess.
No, that
And then he
doesn't
kind of
seem
spaces
good at all.
for a second. Yeah,
What,
I know
what
it's
part
not.
of that
it's
is
not.
good. What part?
I mean, you know, I'm sure they're happy with themselves. They've achieved a goal of theirs, but that doesn't mean it's good for literally anyone else. This person really only seems interested in themselves. Otherwise, I don't know what would happen to the souls of those creatures when they all combined into that thing, but the lack of a language, the lack of sense of itself, it didn't know where it came from. That's worrisome. I'm worried that I don't even know if it could comprehend the weird torment of what I can only assume to be either multiple souls or multiple fractions of souls just swirling around in that thing's consciousness. I'm not sure.
It is a strange crossroads. We can pursue this. We can try to strike out and find whomever is responsible for this. But it may well be too much for us to handle. If we turn back, we don't really have much to go on. We may never find them. And they will, as you say, continue to bend this reality until it is unrecognizable. Something must be done. We are already doing something. I don't
agree.
know if we will be able to best this opponent, but we must at least go and see.
I should really report this sort of breakthrough to at least my superiors and maybe someone at my old school. We'd have to be careful, though, about letting outsiders know too much. But I hate quitting on things without seeing it all the way through. So I know what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do whatever I can to find this person. Hopefully by that time we'll all be prepared enough to do what we have to do.
Let us hope. Let us hope you survive long enough to make your report.
Yeah, that's the next big step, isn't it?
Then after that, Orin will get some fish.
Azazel just goes back to absent-mindedly scribbling some notes and like theorizing about magic that is just so outside of his league right now. And he probably does that for like 5 minutes or until the group just kind of tells him that they're leaving, whatever comes first.
It all sounded very difficult. But I think maybe we need to, have a break. At least Trovik does. I mean, he's sleeping right now. Or should we go find some place to take a break?
We need to take long sleepy time.
What's the time like?
It's about midday.
Hmm.
If I remember correctly. I would say early afternoon, midday to early afternoon. Anywhere between.
It's not quite
12, 1 o'clock.
not quite time to make camp. But we can have a rest. I think perhaps we follow the trail of this creature. Or there was that other place we were heading towards. Do you remember?
I'm sorry, you talking to me?
Yes, you're the one who remembers. You write it down in that book of yours.
Right. Yes. What?
It's not meta if it's true on both sides.
Yeah. Where the jackals came from.
Oh yeah.
Their
We were going
lair.
to their hideout.
Where
Yeah.
the grass is green and the girls are pretty.
Wow,
I
you
am
guys
not-
got sidetracked real hard there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This breakthrough sort of distracted me from the weird cult of dogs who want revenge for us stealing their job.
Think. Yes.
As much as I would like to go interrogate their boss, I am almost completely out of my magic reserves. We could. Well, I mean, it's too early to call it a night, but if we wanted to hang around this area until night, take a little snooze, wake up, and then try in the morning, I can try today, but I will not be able to do a lot of my higher level stuff, especially not any of my interrogation sort of magic.
No, I understand. My ability to channel the living magic around us is limited
Yes.
today.
And Trovik's super duper abilities to stay alive, not so good right now.
Oh, yeah, you're not
yes.
doing so hot. Yeah, I
Oh,
forgot
yes.
about that.
Trovik, come here. I wanted to tell you anyway. You fought with honor today.
Is this
You do your ancestors proud. I'll pat him on the shoulder and give him a second level cure wounds.
Yo.
Wow.
Yo!
Yeah.
Wow.
18 points.
Double eights.
Hey.
What? 18 points? Wow.
19.
19 points. Jeez Louise.
There you go. The eights have redeemed themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's fitting, right? It's
Yeah.
very. The dice tell a story. You got extra
always.
healing
You-
for proving yourself.
So you pat Trovik, and Trovik, before you can get away, like, grabs you by shoulder with one hand and says, "Come here, big guy.
What are we doing?
Come here, big guy.
Don't-
It is.
I don't know what's
it is
going
happening. This is happening. Let it just shh." And I like bring him in and give him a big orc squeeze.
Foxy is just like looking up with this awkward smile, but kind of like
Just let it happen. Just there. It is okay.
Aha.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
You smell like. I know you
Or-
just
yes, I know.
bathed like a couple days ago, but you like it's a pungent smell.
It is smell of great warrior.
I think it's your singed fur, buddy.
Oh shit. You're right.
Oh, that must be it. Yes, I thought I smelled barbecue.
Now I smell it. Ooh, it is bad. Is this going to
Okay.
grow back?
In time, it'll be okay.
I just look like this patchy pale white.
all like patch
Black.
marks all over your
Yeah.
body, where the hair is kind of like really, really short,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Super gone.
uneven cut. But okay.
I have a suggestion. I do not know how far away this lair is, or the trail of this creature. I do not believe the two are mutually exclusive. Perhaps one will lead to the other. see what direction we go in, and go in that direction for a little while, and take a rest before we get to said destination, or as far as we go.
Wait, we
We still have lights.
We are not
We
taking.
can-
Okay, question for DM: does this count as a short rest? As we've been literally sitting here on stream for over 30 minutes.
Real time does not reflect in the D&D world. I will say yes. I will
Azazel
say yes.
ran to and back in like 10 minutes, and like we've been sitting here. Yeah.
In conversation, I would say yes.
Orin's
Once
been
all
playing.
of you, Orin's been kind of like just sitting there, haplessly listening, trying to understand, but
Okay.
You mean Orin
Like I
wasn't
said.
super invested in my stacked clone spell?
So then.
so you all can take a short rest and use any
Yes.
number of hit dice as you so choose.
I am going to do that.
Oh, that means I can use Arcane Recovery. Hell yeah.
Go away.
To a combined level of 2.
Oh, you know what's really cool? When you don't use any hit dice because you didn't take any damage.
Orin will use one hit die and gain back all her short rest features. And that's it.
Okay, I'm not going to use any hit dice, but I will use Arcane Recovery to get back a second level spell slot, so I have 1 first and 1 second left.
I am, but
You
it
work with what you
didn't
got.
roll 2.
If you're trying to do it on D&D Beyond, they haven't implemented that feature yet.
Yeah, okay. Like it's there, but it doesn't do it right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I healed 8 so far. And 7 on another.
You all, while having this conversation,
Good enough.
take a break between the healing, cleaning up your wounds and whatnot. If I understood correctly, you want to continue following the trail to where the Jackalware lair is. Am I correct?
Yep.
All right. I'll say whoever wants to make a survival check to see if they can pick up where the trail left off before you were interrupted by this creature.
That'll be me. So good at it. 14.
I'll
14.
do it as well.
It takes. Yep. Okay.
Hey, look at that. For some reason.
Ooh.
So
Half-
because of the scorched earth on this hillside, it kind of throws you off a little bit, Zoro. But you do find where the trail kind of led back, or where you went back to the original trail. But Trovic has already been like, "Yep, we're going this way," and you're not quite certain, but you follow it up and be like, "Oh no, shit, he's right. It is this way. This is the trail."
It's right, Zoro, but it is Tommy telling Trovic to do everything. It is so crazy.
His stomach leads him. You've got that gut feeling.
Yeah.
But
I got a
continue.
feeling that this trail's gonna be the right trail.
You continue on this trail. You climb up the rest of this hillside. And looking out, it is a little bit more hilly further eastward, but you do see the outcropping of the Thurkona timberlands quite not too far away. And from what you all recall, their camp or encampment or den or whatever, wherever they are held up, is just at the edges south of the Thurkona timberland. So you gather you might be fairly closer than you. Oh. But you carry on down this hillside, through the rocky outcroppings and whatnot, through the large brush and grass, through hedges here and there. I'd say you maybe travel another half an hour, 45 minutes before you get to this area where it kind of levels out a little bit following this trail. The wagon wheel markings kind of disappear over time due to the high amounts of grass, but you do pick up a little bit of footprints, a little bit of sense of where they previously came by. And eventually you come to this point where you feel they might just be around the corner. As you come to this rocky setting, almost like a cliffside embedded into this larger hill, that once on the other end of it, trees start to spout and scattered across, and they kind of blend. The hill blends into the northern part of this area to where the Thurcona Timberlands meets, where it then becomes a little bit more heavier and closer knit with all the trees. With this rocky face on this side of the hill, and in this, you can actually see a bit of a trail along the southern side of it, and it does lead into what looks to be an opening in the wall further down. You see a handful of trees. There's a couple of trees that kind of block some of the view, but you do notice there is like an opening further down, maybe about 200, 250 feet away.
This is where Tommy tells Trovik nothing. I don't know, but I can't. It's weird. You know, Magic Belly, Spirit Tummy, it's like roll of die. And sometime works, sometime not so much. But this is as far as Trovik get friends. That word sounded weird.
Azazel, you said we probably do not want to try and infiltrate this place today. If we could wait till tomorrow, that would be best.
That would be the most preferable, yeah.
Well, why don't we try to find a place that's a little bit further off, perhaps a little bit back the way we came, to make a camp and keep a watch.
Higher elevation if we can help it.
We'll try to find such a place.
Okay, make another survival check for me, just to see if you can find a good place, distant from where the encampment is.
Booyah. 22.
Nice.
I'm not very wise. I'm not gonna try.
Just a little bit south of this opening in this cliffside section of this hill. You kind of head down the valley area, past a few scattered trees, maybe several hundred feet away, but at least noting that it's just north. And you find a section of hillside, almost like a mounded area, where a bit of the rocky features kind of start up again. Seems like a good outlier for you to set up camp, rest for a while before you can go back north to that same spot. Provides a little bit of cover from at least the northern side.
This may be the best place for us to stay. There might be some more light to go in the day, but we would be better served if we had a rest.
I agree.
The only thing that I would say for tonight is we do not make a fire. Do not want them to be alerted to our presence or come upon us in the night when they seem to be more spirited.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I put away my rock. Hey.
All right. So you choose to, as a group, set up camp here and spend the next X amount of hours taking a long rest.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yep.
I'd say make me at least one perception check. As you guys are kind of like settling down.
Perceive. Nice.
Are
5.
you sure?
5. You take a look
I
around.
just haven't rolled in a while.
I know. Kind of feels bad, you know.
Wait,
you're kind of like.
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Hey! It's gonna be a 1.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. Yes.
4.
Just as good.
Just as good. Yeah, the group's kind of like taking a moment to push a few rocks around here and there, make a nice comfortable spot to sit and just relax a bit, pull out some rations. You're looking around, kind of keeping an eye out. Odd number of trees around, just kind of scattered periodically. A few rocky outcroppings, large grass as it has been this entire trek. You notice a bird kind of like fly off from one of the trees. Seems safe.
We've picked the optimal campsite.
So you guys relax, take your long rest. It's surprisingly calm this so far eastward. There isn't much going on. It might be due to the presence of said creature that you encountered, if you recall what the panther told you. But it's quiet. I'll take a long rest. And as the day's light begins to dwindle a little bit, handful of hours goes by, and it gets into early evening. I would say closer to like 6:30-ish.
In the evening or?
6:30 in the evening.
Oh, okay.
The light of the sun is beginning to set a bit, but there is that dusk period. There's still enough light to see where you're going, but you know that daylight is dwindling.
Okay, Zoro. Where exactly are we going?
We are going to investigate the hiding place of the jackals that attacked us. They said that they were hired to bring all sorts of animals to this place. And Azazel said that the creatures that we have encountered have been an amalgamation of different animals. I think they may be related.
Very possible. Absolutely.
Do we get to slaughter many enemies?
Perhaps, if they are aggressive towards us, if they do not cooperate.
Boss, The boss we'd want to take alive regardless. Ask him some questions.
I give my best detective look at Azazel. Do we know what boss looked like?
Yeah, we fought him before, remember? And then I describe exactly how he looked and how he was different from all of the other jackalwares we fought.
Oh, right. Yes, yes.
His
Trovik
map
almost
icon was
died.
different, so I'm assuming he looks different.
To help me differentiate between the different monster types. But yes, they all generally do have slightly different appearances. It's hard to tell with their humanoid shape, their more jackal form, a hybrid form, sorry. But you can kind of piece them apart based on the garb they're wearing, at least. Though they all have been presented as humans with different hair colors, different facial features, different eyes. When they turn to their hybrid form, it's a little more different. One might have a longer snout, one might have slightly longer, more pinched ears, but usually the garb will still stay the same that they're wearing.
So that's the one that we want to keep alive.
And the one that got away along with another one was wearing more of a dark, at the time, was wearing more of like a dark, maybe like a brown or a black, you weren't quite sure, hooded long robe. And then when he transformed, he just kind of ripped it off.
So, are we on foot or are we set up camp?
You guys, you're currently at camp. You've had your long rest. It is now in the earlier period of evening. Daylight is
I
slowly
thought
dwindling.
We, went to sleep. What? Never mind. Forget it.
It's still the same day because it was only about midday, early afternoon.
Right. Okay.
So you took a long rest to relax, kind of like eat a little bit, rest up, regain your spells and your health.
It's good.
Mechanic wise.
We go
Doesn't
in.
necessarily mean you had to sleep.
Yeah.
You just took it easy for a few hours. Just
Fair.
noting where the other encampment is. But it's up to you
Okay.
guys if you want to proceed to this.
Trovik tell you about Orc tribe plan is good. At nighttime, when enemy is least expecting attack, is when we go in and take them by surprise. Surprise.
Surprise.
I'm so surprised.
Supplies, motherfucker. Is good, yes?
Yeah, I mean, they're probably more alert at night. I don't know. Compared to dogs, are jackals nocturnal? I don't know.
You can make a nature check if you like.
I would love to do exactly that. Nature.
Oh,
nice.
Oh, that would be a natural one.
Hello there, fine lady.
Now then,
there it was.
that's my second natural one tonight.
That's good.
So I have no idea about
Good for
dogs.
the kids. Extra life, everybody. Meow, 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 meow.
You are not sure. If you're judging them like dogs, they're in the day, they're in the night.
You know, regardless, they know that we like to sleep at night, so they definitely won't be expecting us, regardless of their sleep schedule.
Mm-hmm.
This is right. This is what Trovik tell you is Orc tribe plan. is good. We go in dark and invade enemy territory.
So, just so we're all on the same page, are we going in to stab first and ask questions later, or are we asking questions first?
I don't know if they're gonna be civil enough to let us ask questions before they start attacking.
Trovik no remember asking questions on battlefield, especially in dark.
I say we have liberty to stab first, but if we find the leader, have those stabs be a little less lethal.
That, what Red Man say? It is good method, Red Man said.
If we're talking intel, he's the only one that really could give us anything useful, since he's the only one who would have interacted with the person that hired them, or more likely the middleman. Which, I mean, they're already also a middleman. There's a lot of middlemen.
What's the middle of middleman?
Yeah, I don't, the middle of the middleman, the middle of the meddling middleman meddles with the middleman's middle, I guess, would be...
What the shit?
Good stuff. Good.
Thank you.
Damn, you did that all in one breath. I would have fucked it up.
Good for you.
Everyone use that for your vocal exercises. There you go. There's a free one.
I don't even know what you said, but I was impressed by it.
Many men make much
The
money.
meddling of the middleman meddles with the middleman's middle. I don't know, something along those lines.
It sounds very dirty.
Damn.
You should not say that out loud in front of people, okay, Azazel?
Suppose
Yeah,
that,
all right.
Suppose that we will follow your lead.
My lead, yes.
No, not you.
But it is Trovik plan.
Yes, and it's a very good plan, but
So-
it is not Trovik's talk. Trovik talk? No.
Trovik talk just fine. But
No,
Trovik
not this time.
speak with X.
Okay. First we speak with words, and then with acts.
But Azazel say that we can go stab first.
I mean, yeah, we could do that. I really don't think there's a wrong answer there. I'm going to be honest. After that thing we just fought, I feel pretty confident that we can take on the guys that we already beat once.
Sorrel, don't you sometimes get a little tired of being good guy?
No. Why would I? Is it... it may be difficult for you to be kind to the world around you, but it's kind of my default.
Trovik no idea what default is, but
It's how I am all the time.
we need it. It is boring, Zorro. Sometime you have to be a little bad to get a little good.
All right, well, I don't know about that, but how about this? We've almost already, well, at least a couple of us have already almost died today, so how about we do try to approach them diplomatically? If they swing on sight, if they just try to kill us right away, then we have our answer. They weren't too happy to see us last time. We'll play that part by ear. I have a feeling if we approach them just the front of their hideout, I think we'll be fine. I don't really think they'd be laying a trap particularly for us. I don't think we have to necessarily kill all of them right away, because that'd be kind of a dick move, showing up to their house and killing all of them. And at the end, this really is about getting more information.
This is how Trovik win war with Orc tribe. Is show up
we're
at
not
door.
we're not really at war with these individuals. They just sort of are mad at us, and if we kill more of them, I feel like that kind of justifies them. We killed a few last time in more self-defense than anything. I do think we should try to approach them and just ask if we can get some information from them. We try that way, and if it doesn't work, then we'll know because they would have tried to attack us.
Trovik. Trovik getting tired of putting Trovik's body in front of enemy and giving them opportunity to attack first. When is Trovik going to get to go slaughter enemy when we know they are not good?
That's a really good question.
This is... Trovik will take follow, but this is last time Trovik keep following with such simple peasant-like, being so, giving opportunity to enemies so easily is not way of Orc and not way of staying alive. We have planned to what's the word, Little Flower?
I think it's infiltrate.
Yes.
But wouldn't it...
What?
I understand you don't want to put yourself in harm's way, but maybe it's making it a fair fight by not striking first. And if they strike first...
But they did strike first.
Well,
They struck
yes.
first in Old Town, where I don't remember name. Does not matter. We are lucky to be alive because we are strong. This is opportunity to strike back, and we are just going to walk down there and talkie and let them have opportunity to attack and give them choice to swing sword first.
Or maybe you challenge them? Like a competition. You go up, if you know they're going to attack first, maybe offer have like an equal footing, like a challenge where you both go at the same time on
Like
fair combat.
calling for single combat?
Sure. Yeah, that could be something.
Then
There's
Trovik called
only
for
a couple of
combat.
us. There might be more of them. An equal footing.
Then that is what Trovik will do. Trovik gets so tired of giving enemy first opportunity.
Well, they put you to sleep last time, so perhaps that tiredness will pay off.
Azazel's gonna try and, as discreetly as he can, wrap his little copper wire around like his ring finger and just cast message towards Zorl and just be like, listen, I know you don't like it, but I think he really needs a win. let's go along with this, okay?
I think you are right. We should let him charge in. I may not be behind him.
Okay, Zorl, we're gonna try it your way. I mean, Trovik, I'm so sorry. I'm groggy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't sleep much. I was thinking about magic. gonna try it your way. You know, you can try the single combat. You can just try and start swinging. I would like it if at least the leader was still alive. He's definitely the best source of information we have here.
You have Trovik word. Leader stay alive.
And I know your word's as good as gold.
Work word is best.
After agreeing to this, I haven't forgotten, but just for all you watching, just notes and stuff has been sent to me. But after mulling over and deciding how to approach this, seems as though a frontal assault, or at least a mutual combative agreement, may be what comes next, but I'll find out next time. As unfortunately it is 10 o'clock. We will be wrapping it up for today.
Whoa!
And in 2 weeks' time, we'll see what happens, how this group decides to approach this den, this encampment, this enclosure of a series of jackals that they have pissed off, but hopefully have information for them. But for everyone who came and watched, thank you for coming and watching. I know I'm very tired.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've been yawning like crazy. I'm sorry, fans. I'm sorry,
Okay.
chat.
It's okay. I get tired by like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
But until next time, be good to each other, be awesome, and beat hate with love. And have a good night.
Bye. Have a happy Halloween.